Hello everyone, and welcome back to Triangle Strategy. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Titanium Legman. We have a lot of character stories to go through, like 5. So we're gonna start doing that and see what these are about, because we've only seen a couple of characters focus just like background story, lore type deals, and I'm excited to see where these go. So the first one that we're looking at here, Eridor relaxes at the encampment when Hewett comes to him with a question. Here, may as well get these done, learn more about our party, you know? Maybe they're optional, maybe we learn some valuable info.
Seems as if the troubles never cease. I'd kill for a drop of ale.
I take it you and Benedict have seen your share of trouble. You have both served House Wolfort for many years, yes?
Yes, we're quite old, Hewett.
Aye. We both served Lord Simon since we were green between the ears. Through the good times and the bad. To see him now, you wouldn't believe the stories of what we got up to in our tender years. Even then, though, he was always the schemer. Always drawing me into his fanciful plots.
Has so much changed since then?
I don't reckon so. In any case, was there something you wanted to ask me?
There was. The other day, Benedict posed quite the strange question to me.
Oh? Several days ago.
Where snowbell blossoms bloom?
Indeed. I thought perhaps you had seen trace of the flowers while scouting with Flugy.
Is that the first time we've heard the name of Hewett's bird? Flugy? Oh my god, I love it! Ha! Hewett and Flugy, that's amazing!
I've spotted clusters of them in the deep mountain passes
Huh.
before, but not of late.
Flugy, oh my god.
So it is as I thought. They have ever been a rare sight, even more so in recent years. I had thought to procure one, but it may be wise to temper my expectations in that regard.
Life always finds a way to flourish. I am certain Anna and I can find one before long.
I would not have you chasing my idle fancies. You both have more vital duties to attend to.
True.
Of course.
But you know Hewett's now going to be trying to find that flower, which is why she's come to Eridor. Master of finding flowers, or something.
So, Benedict's looking for a snowbell blossom. What's so peculiar about that?
Nothing, if it were anyone else asking. However, I think you'd agree that Benedict is not the type to go picking flowers on a whim. They say that when a snowbell blooms...
That moment is frozen in time. Aye.
Huh. Interesting.
Precisely. You and Benedict both never fail to surprise.
Obviously not like a literal interpretation, but just an interesting little folktale.
But of all flowers, why the snowbell? Does he have some lady love I'm unaware of?
Or he did. And it was an unrequited forbidden love, as we have discussed, that was perhaps not so forbidden.
I can't speak to that, but I'll tell you one thing, Hewett. We've all got moments locked away and placed close to our hearts. You, me, even a stubborn-headed mule like Benedict.
Whoa, this music. Somber on the point of ominous.
Like the snowbell, we want them frozen like that forever. And like the snowbell, they're liable to shatter if we let another handle them carelessly.
I understand. I apologize if I was too forward. Let us forget the matter.
No, it isn't you that needs to apologize. I'm always telling Benedict no one likes being lectured.
It was enlightening. I see you and Benedict are true friends.
For lack of a better word, aye. Bring me a draft of ale, and I'll tell you all about our younger days. At least, what I can remember. I recall Benedict wasn't nearly as capable as he is now.
I may have to take you up on that offer.
Do you really reckon snowbells are still blooming somewhere out there?
Perhaps. Though I've not seen them in this region. They may still bloom in the southern reaches.
In other words, a trek and a half from here. Don't give up the search, my friend.
Very, very interesting. I wonder if we're going to get follow-ups to these conversations, because I'd love to learn more about that. Oh, and we're strengthening our convictions by watching these. Excellent. Very good. Okay, well, following up from Eridor and Hewett, we now have Hewett and Eridor. Huh. Interesting. Are they... Hewett and Eridor embark on a hunt, and the former reflects on how she came into her position at the prince's side. Are they hunting for snowbells, or are they hunting for hunting? Let's find out.
A whole day of hunting, and this is all I have to show for it. Wanted to give Lord Serenoa something meaty for once.
Okay, they are just hunting. Gotcha. Huh. I was hit with this with the Narv story as well, where I was expecting something very lighthearted and goofy, and maybe that's like the after effects of Fire Emblem Awakening and Fates, and even some of the Three Houses supports that are quite silly. And so maybe I was going into these with that type of expectation, but these just seem like more serious anecdotes about the lives of our characters, and that's nice. You know, even though supports, some of them goofy as they are in Fire Emblem, they still give you more of an attachment to your characters, and these are definitely fulfilling a similar purpose.
A deer is no easy prey. You are a skilled hunter.
One deer to your 3 boar? It's plain who the better of us is.
Okay, well, you have a shield, and she has a bow.
You let a single one escape. Could be hunting is your true calling.
Perhaps. Before I was knighted, I was keeper of the Hawk's Roost. And besides, I come from a long line of hunters.
That's so. And what drove you to fight men for a living?
Lenbrook put out a call for Hawk Riders, that they might challenge S. Frost's aerial superiority. I answered that call. My training was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. But I won a position in the Kingsguard, where I petitioned to serve Prince Roland personally.
Seeing you in action, I'm sure you could have made a fine commander. Yet you stuck by the prince's side.
Yes, I did.
Okay. I was like, is that the end of that scene? But no.
Flugy has yet to return. I hope he isn't in danger.
I love that her bird's name is Flugy. Oh, I feel like we could have been unlocking these stories earlier as well, no? Like, yeah, granted, there was a lot going on, but it would have been cool to get some of these details a little earlier on. Like, because we're, what, 9, 10 chapters in now? Probably a good third of the way through the game. It would have been nice to start getting these things established earlier, you know? Like, again, we didn't know that her bird's name was Flugy. At least I don't think we did. Until now. That's insane. Oh.
What's this then? A traveler out here all alone, huh?
Are we going to do the stereotypical bandit finds a quote-unquote lost defenseless maiden in the woods, then she kicks his ass? Is that where we're going?
And in sore need of protection by my reckoning. Hand over your coin purse and maybe we can reach an arrangement.
Bandits? Here? How could I be so careless?
Okay, I guess we're just doing just the normal defenseless traveler thing. Okay. Woo!
I'd advise against running. Ain't nowhere for you to go. Enough!
Ah, okay. Is this why the prince, or she petitioned to protect the prince? Okay.
You hurt?
I'm fine, thanks to you. Had you not showed up when you did, I could have ended up dead. You have my gratitude.
Is that your hawk? It guided me here.
Ah, okay.
I was in the middle of a hunt, but your bird cried out as if calling to me. Thank heavens I did not loose that arrow. I've never known hawks could be so wise.
His name is Flugy, and he's more than my hawk. He's my closest companion.
The bandits are growing more bold by the day. 'Tis best you returned home.
Wait! I have scarce little to give in the way of coin, but still, there must be something I can do to repay you.
Think nothing of it. It is the royal family's duty to protect our subjects.
The royal... Good heavens! You're Prince Roland! Forgive me, Your Highness.
There's no need for all that stuffy formality. May we meet again soon.
Yes, Your Highness.
Okay, so she has not a super severe life debt, but like, you know.
That was my first meeting with the prince.
There's something there.
He saved my life. And for that,
Okay, well.
I shall be forever in his debt. I could settle for no less than the King's Guard.
Game, like, I'm just putting out, like, passive thoughts and somehow picking out the exact terminology that you're gonna use. Like, bro, come on. Oh, alright. Life debt it is. Understood. Oy, oy, oy. I really don't try to predict the exact dialogue like this. Alright, so we're learning a little bit more about Hewett and Roland. I need to, like, get them on the field more together. I don't think that it affects what stories we get, but just, like, I don't know, for story purposes, just because it would be cool. And, like, I've been kind of underwhelmed with Roland thus far. I need to figure out how I'm supposed to use him, because I'm sure he's not bad. He just hasn't gelled with my playstyle and the playstyle we've been adapting to survive some of these fights. Gila realizes that she shares some surprising similarities with a certain someone. Interesting. Always good to see Gila involved in stuff, because she had next to no personality in the demo.
Greetings. Were you training outside?
Not today. Even I stay away from the proving grounds on occasion. The members of the King's Guard must keep themselves in prime fighting shape. That includes resting when our bodies are weary.
A wise policy. The handmaidens of Esfrost adhere to a similar principle. With clear eyes, we see, we serve, we anticipate.
Interesting. Although our tools are different, we're alike in our aims.
Indeed. We must be the pillars our charges turn to in times of need. Even so, we are only human. If I may ask in confidence, do you ever find it trying to serve Prince Roland?
I think we know what Hewett's answer is going to be for this. The number of times she's, like, rolled her eyes at him. Also, interesting to know that I guess that's Gila's official title. Like, she's Frederica's tutor, but she spoke about the Handmaids of Esfrost, so I wonder if that's, like, her proper job title, and she just is a Handmaid of Esfrost who tutors Frederica. Very interesting. Her attendant and tutor in the arcane arts. So yeah, that would make sense. Okay.
Is he ever unreasonable? Have you ever found your patience tested?
No, never. It is an honor to serve, always.
The stutter gives away her true feelings.
It is an odd question to ask, but I must confess I find it hard to imagine what it is like to serve in a society such as Esfrost's.
As do I, although I lived through it. It all feels as if it were so long ago.
You're not one for speaking plain, are you? But I suspect we may have much in common. I'm curious to hear your story, if you are willing to share it.
Oh boy.
Of course.
Okay.
I made a promise to myself long ago to effect change through my own deeds, not to live as a mere servant.
And what came of that promise?
Hailing from Hyzand, at first I endeavored to learn at the Ministry, that I might use the knowledge gained there to help others.
Okay, see, this is what I've been back and forth on this for so long. First, like, we assumed that she was from Hyzant because she learned at the Ministry of Medicine before leaving for Esfrost, but then she said something about, like, having spent a short time at the Ministry or in Hyzant or something. So I thought, okay, maybe she just went there to learn and then went back to Esfrost, but I guess she is from Hyzant? I'm having a hard time keeping track of this lady's backstory, man. Jeez.
But they guard their secrets fiercely and maintain strict control over what fields their students can pursue. As much as it pained me to leave my home, I could not suffer such stifling rules, and so set forth to Esfrost. I took quickly to learning at the archives, where independent study is encouraged. I spent days in the stacks, soaking up as much knowledge as I could, when one day...
I'm assuming one day she met Frederica. We've seen a lot of characters flee Hyzant because of the rules. Oh!
You are the one called Gila, yes?
Ah, or Svarog hired her to teach Frederica. Okay. Also, can we please talk about these as frosty scholars with their little hats down on the second floor in the top of the screen? Or the first floor, I suppose, but I think we're up on the second floor. I'm actually not sure. The perspective here is funky. I'm not sure if that's a banister that we're looking down from or if they're above us. Either way, I love their little hats. Their little, like, graduation caps. That's great.
Yes, my lord.
They tell me you're the most talented researcher the archives have ever seen.
Damn. Okay.
I couldn't say that, my lord. Though I do spend more time here than most anyone else.
Admirable modesty. And you aren't frightened of me. Most impressive. I believe we have a suitable role for you. Come with me. The Archduke would have a word.
Oh.
The Archduke? But...
No harm will come to you, if that is your fear. Now, follow me.
Okay. So she got roped into stuff by Gustadolf then. Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
Lord Svarog had arranged an audience with the former Archduke of Esfrost.
Oh!
Who appointed me as Frederica's personal tutor.
Oh, the former Archduke. I guess that makes sense why Svarog was still in the capital then, before he'd been exiled to Twinsgate. Huh. Okay. Okay. God, how long has Gustadolf been the Archduke then? And what happened to the former Archduke? We don't know any of that. Maybe that's stuff we would have learned if we went to Esfrost instead of Hyzant before.
She was the former Archduke's daughter, so I took my duty seriously. Yet I could never shake the feeling that I had betrayed my ideals. Perhaps I justified it by telling myself that my teachings could plant the seed for change.
An indirect approach, but an active one nonetheless.
The chance was unexpected, to be sure, but I could not very well deny it. The Archduke's successor, Gustadolf, was a man that paid no heed to birth or blood. He effected a change in people's attitudes, a change which provided fertile ground in which my teachings could take root. Thus, I stayed by Frederica's side. Truth be told, I had not thought to be with her for this long, and yet here I am. Life is truly a journey of unforeseen destinations.
Huh. I really liked that, actually. Of these stories, that's one of the most interesting thus far. And again, coming from a character who had very little story impact or personality in the demo, so I was less attached to in that regard. Very cool. Very cool. I wonder how old Gila is then. Like, she's obviously older than Frederica, and was old enough to, like, be around before Gustadolf took power, which we don't know how long of a timeline that is. Very cool. Alright, well, Hassabara, please, tell us about your past.
Ah, that's the good stuff. Ain't no one can pour a pint like you.
I take coin for drink, not compliments. It's hard enough to keep this place running on my own as it is.
Need me to lend a hand?
Thought you'd never ask. You
Oh.
can start by washing the dishes, then restocking our foodstuffs, fixing up that wobbly table, and...
Aye, leave it to me.
Oh,
Ha! I'm only playing. I'd never put a paying customer to labor.
But that's an awful lot of work for any one person. Ever give thought to finding someone with whom you might share the burden?
You can stop right there. The last thing I need is anyone else complicating my life.
Well, I mean, it really depends on how you want to interpret it, Hassabara. Maybe he's saying you just bring on an assistant. Maybe he's saying that it's about time you found yourself a studly man like Eridor himself. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
I had myself a someone once.
Oh.
You know, special like. Till he left me for a specialer someone.
Mm-hmm. The bartender who hears the heartbreak of others herself has experienced heartbreak. A tale as old as time.
Raised my son Theo all by myself after that. He'd be a man grown now, if the war hadn't taken him.
Damn, alright. Sentence after sentence, we're getting the play-by-play here. Whew.
Forgive me, Hassabara. Didn't mean to go drudging up painful memories.
No need for apologies. I don't know anyone who doesn't have a thing or two in their past that haunts them. In truth, I'm more exhausted than anything. Must be the years taking their toll.
I know I've talked about the little, like, details in the sprite work and everything before, and anyone who knows me knows that I'm a sucker for good sprite work, but just, like, there's so much good emotion packed into just this one, like, you know, she rests her hand, or her head on her hand, you know, cups her cheek, one eye closes a little bit, like, you could just see the tiredness in her, exactly like she's saying, just through that one little extra bit of sprite animation. It's so good.
Ain't got nothing to do with age, and everything to do with the hardships you've overcome. More impressive than an old soldier drowning his sorrows in mead.
What kind of barkeep am I, letting my poor patron wallow?
Sometimes wallowing's good for the soul. Come on, have a round with me. My treat.
Took you long enough to make the offer. Now, what shall we toast to?
Ah, God, I love Eridor, and I love Hassabara. Like, look at her. She's such a badass. And, like, now we immediately know so much more about her past. She's a mom. She lost a son. She had her heart broken by a no-good son of a bitch. Like, and she's still out there beating people with a stick and healing people and serving drinks. Like, woman's awesome. And let's say nothing of Eridor as well, who's also awesome. I love these characters.
How about to your son?
To Theo.
I love these characters, and I love this game. And I've seen a lot of people saying how, like, there's too much dialogue, and there's too much, like, too many cutscenes between battles and things like that. And maybe they could smooth that out a little bit. But God, if I'm not living for every single one of these character stories, and every single one of these cutscenes, and every bit of dialogue with all of these characters, it's so good, man. Julio, excellent. I love Julio as well. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I didn't love any of these characters, but Julio and Eridor are out on patrol when they come across a deplorable act in progress. Oh boy. Alright, yeah, and we've got Goody Two-Shoes 1 and Goody Two-Shoes except rougher, too. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. A nameless village, huh?
Please, you can't take our wheat. We just sent food the other day.
Silence! Lord Walford has ordered the requisition of all provisions. You wouldn't dare disobey your lord, would you?
I don't think that's true, madame.
Of course not. I just can't believe Lord Walford would command such a thing.
I myself am Lord Wolfort, and as I look down on you from on high with the power of omnipotent presence of God himself, I proclaim you to be a liar!
Are you accusing me, a noble woman of Glenbrook, of lying? How dare you, peasant?
Jesus, alright, Cruella. Oh my lord.
Mayhap we should see what the commotion is about.
Not just Julio and Eridor, but nameless Glenbrook soldier number 1.
Going on?
Well, if it isn't Captain Eridor. Thank you for all that you do to keep these lands safe.
Yep, keep sucking up, lady.
You're one of the lot what recently fled from the Crown City, ain't you?
Oh. Oh.
Just so, yes. I came to humbly lend what aid I could to Lord Wolfford and deliver on the provisions I promised.
Mm-hmm.
What is your quarrel with these people? If you could explain the situation, we'd be more than happy to lend what aid we can.
Please, I beg of you, don't take our food. It's all we have.
I've always known Lord Wolfford to care for his people above all. Why would he do this to us?
What madness is this? Lord Serenoa has strictly forbidden commandeering food from the common folk.
This is so great, because, like, one of the only other scenes we've had with Julio is him ripping into Patriat for his corruption, and we get round 2 with this nameless noble lady. This is so good.
Surely you aren't asking these good people to relinquish their stores to you in his name?
I am simply gathering provisions on Lord Wolfford's behalf, as I promised. Honestly, he should be grateful.
Yes. Keep telling my people what I should be grateful for, ma'am.
Grateful? He'd be red in the face if he saw what you were doing. Ain't no way he ordered it.
On the contrary, you are acting in violation of your lord's decree. We cannot overlook your actions. You will come with us and be jailed. There, you will await judgment for your crimes.
I love Julio so much. It's, man, like, morally gray, dubious stuff, especially, like, in this game, absolutely is good. And, like, you tell better stories that way and everything. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a sucker for a good, just lawful good, paladin-esque character sometimes, man.
What nonsense is this? I am a noblewoman of Glenbrook. How dare you try to order me about, you self-important little man? You've no authority over me!
This lady's voice acting is great.
Look, I ain't disagreeing. But are you sure we should accost her without seeking Lord Serenoa's counsel first?
We haven't that luxury. The longer she is allowed to roam free, the more the people will suffer, and our lord's good name be sullied. We must show the people that unethical acts will not go unpunished. Take her away.
You'll pay for your impudence!
Nah, my boy Julio, he knows what's up, man.
Can't believe there are scoundrels out here using House Wolfford's name for ill gain. You've done us all proud today, Julio.
Thank you ever so much, my lord. We'd be facing starvation if you hadn't stepped in.
She really had us fooled. We should have known Lord Wolfford is too kind a man to order anything like that.
If you are ever troubled again, please seek me out. I shall ensure that any wrongs committed against you are set right.
Hell yeah. My man Julio's a boss. Gives people TP, buffs them, uses great swords, stands up for the people. Love this guy. All my homies love Julio. Oh shit, that was so good. Okay, anything else we got going on here? Doesn't look like it. Does not look like it. Okay, well, you know what? I think I'm gonna just call this one here then, because we are almost at time. It'll be just a little short, but that's fine. That's fine. We filled out that time pretty dang well, so I hope you guys enjoyed those character stories. I certainly did. If it's something that you would like to see, though, like if we get a bunch of them all in one go, again, obviously I'll try and kind of weed them out as we go if we just get them one at a time, but if we get just a whole chunk of them in one go, if you guys would prefer, I can set that up in a different way rather than dedicating an episode to it. So let me know if you have a preference, if you'd like to see little individual mini episodes with character stories, or like specific, like, quote-unquote lore episodes and their own little side thing with character stories, things like that. We could potentially do that. I'm open to thoughts, so let me know, and we'll go from there. But for now, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I do very much appreciate it. If you know someone that you think would enjoy this series or any of my other content, if you could shoot them a link, that'd just be swell. Until the next time, though, I hope you all have a good night. Stay safe and healthy out there. And remember, be good to each other. Bye now.